Post?
Give me a second. I will tell you, don't worry. Just let's make sure we're in, but we will be live when we're in. And we'll just manage it in real time because it's like bananas. So it's the first time I'm doing it on YouTube. Redirecting. It looks like we're live. Yay. So for everybody who wanted to be a part of this, so it's the first time I'm doing it on YouTube. Redirecting. It looks like we're live. Yay. So for everybody who wanted to be a part of this, so it's the first time I'm doing it on YouTube. Okay. So this is Debbi Dachinger, and I am doing this live video with my dear friend and healer, Amy Schuber. We're actually supposed to be doing this on Facebook. However, if anybody knows what's going on Facebook, at the most interesting time during the coronavirus, when probably people are having more access to Facebook and groups and Facebook Lives than ever before, they keep changing their matrix, which for a consumer, a user like me, is incredibly frustrating. Facebook, please stop. Like, please stop and make it easier for us. So without ranting, because I could go on, I may need a healing just about that. This is cool, right? I've got this great YouTube tribe. So we're going to shift here. And I think some of the Facebook people are going to come here as well and join us live. So without further ado, but with my glasses, because I have to make sure I can see everything that's happening, I'm going to bring on Amy. And Amy Schuber, how are you?
Hi, I'm fantastic. How are you, my beautiful friend?
I'm fantastic. We were just having tea together and toasting this crazy rainy weather we're having here in California.
I know.
Which is a great day for delicious tea. And I am so excited because I feel like I am hosting your coming out party.
I think you are.
And I feel like we should have that song, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. I'm coming. So that's really what's going on here, because since I've known you, lo, these many years, you, I know, are a healer, and you've been working on your skills, and you've been taking classes and honing and working on people, and now you're someone who's paid to be a healer out in the world. I have experienced your amazing gifts, and it got to the point where I was like, damn it, woman, gotta get you out there. We've got to let the world know what's possible. So can you talk first? Let's just like make it, because you're so humble about this. You're kind of shy, even, I might say, about your gifts. Just talk about what it has been like for you, like from the knowingness, and how you're even able to be here as humble as you are about your talents.
Oh, wow, that's an interesting question. And it's so funny you say that song, I'm Coming Out, because I think a year and a half ago, I was playing that, I think around New Year's time. And I'm like, this is going to be my theme song. Not kind of really knowing why I was saying that, but that's so funny that you say that. So I love that synchronicity. Yeah, I think I've always been on this journey back to myself, even like about 15 years ago when I left the corporate world and started my own business to be more creative, to be more just in this, my own self-discovery, more entrepreneurial, because I come from an entrepreneurial family, not a healing family, but just pure creative entrepreneurs. And I wanted to go there instead of being corporate. And it's taken me this long, all this self-discovery to land here, but it's all necessary, right? So it's just been this me doing the work, honestly, like me connecting with myself and doing the work for myself to peel the layers, to discover my real life purpose. And that was sort of what when I quit my corporate job, that's why I wanted, what I really, really wanted was to find my life purpose. And so I landed in the coaching world and in, women's entrepreneurial facilitating with women and really connecting with them. And when I was doing that, I was like, oh, this is it. This is my jam. This women's entrepreneurial. I get you, ladies. I see what you need. I see who you really are. And I started getting inspiration from that connection and that rapport. And so that really started my journey. And I think through the years of working with people in the coaching world and business strategy, and then even starting my podcast 5 years ago, I've just really honed those skills that I already had and already knew that were within me, but they didn't come out in my corporate work, right? They were the things I was maybe hiding from. I don't know. So through me having my own self-discovery, it's brought me straight to here. And I just said this to someone this morning, I always love going to healers and having healing. And I think I look back on that thinking, now I see myself, I like go into a healer and I'm like, okay, I love this. Are you safe? Is this good? Are you okay doing what you're doing out in the world? And I think looking back, I was sort of like wanting the healing work for myself to get there and help me on my path. And I think I was also checking them out to see if they were all good in the world, being who they were as a healer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I always think it's so funny that you're attracted to the thing that you are. So you're
Yeah.
spending all this time with healers, without fully recognizing at the time, oh my God, I'm one of you. Like
Yeah.
I am this.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I was poking around to see if it was safe. I mean, that's my sense of it. And, my skills in my work, like the strategy work and the professional work like that, the corporate stuff and the businesses I was working with, really it was all coming from my intuition. I have a marketing background and a event background, but I can really walk into a business and see what's going on, and it's relationship oriented, it's finance oriented, it's all these things, but it's all the skills that I bring to healing too, which is who I really am, right? So it was just like a mask of, I could come in and heal your business, but it's going to look like strategy, it's going to look like operations, it's going to look like building your client team and sales and all that stuff. And then I can do the same here in this healer world, and it's interesting. And then as I chose to step in and learn how to do these things rather than be in the class to actually learn it for myself, to put it out in the world, that is where my gifts and talents opened up. That's where the magic is. I mean, people say that, my master teacher says that your gifts and the magic happens when you practice. And boy, that blew my doors off.
Yes.
Practicing. Yeah.
How would you know otherwise? If you're not
Yeah.
out there doing, you don't actually know what's landing, what's being received, what you can shift. You actually have to do it to
You
be
have
it.
to. It's one thing to talk about it. It's one thing to dabble in it. And it's one thing to be receiving of it. But that's different. When you're receiving of it, that's great and amazing, but that's different than being the one who's applying it, right? It's like art. You can talk about art and witness art, but if you never paint, you never get into that flow of what art can really be for you. So that's sort of like that transition I've made. And I am a creative, I'm an artist, I'm a healer, like all those things. And it's all the stuff that's in my family and all the stuff that I never identified with because I thought I wasn't good like them. I'm different. And that's who I've always been. I've always been different. I've always been shy. I was born shy. So I've always been the quiet one. But what has also happened is I've recognized all these things that I've taken for granted about myself are all my superpowers.
Can you say more about that? That feels so important and delicious.
Yeah, like people call me quiet and shy. However, I am an observer. I can be in the room and I know exactly what's going on. I know what's going on all around me. I can read the energy, and I didn't know that's what that was. And I think as a kid I was shy because I'd hide behind my mom's leg because some of that energy is not safe, right? So I was quiet and shy, but I think there's a power and a strength in that quietness. So that's one of my superpowers because I'm a great listener. That's why interviewing and podcasting comes so naturally to me because I'm curious and I love hearing what people have to say. I love being in the conversation because I want people to hear what you have to say about what you're doing because I'm interested and I know it makes a difference in the world to listen and share that message. So that's a superpower, but you don't necessarily hear people say, I listen. I listen hard and it's a good thing, but it's a gift and a talent. And I think when you're listening to yourself, you have to really tune in and listen. And I think that's what's up for everybody right now. We are so busy in the world. We go, 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 go. We run, 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 run. we're in traffic, we're in this, we're always stimulated. And right now we're in this deep listening of ourselves. And some people don't want to be. Some people don't want to be here. They want to be busy, busy, because then they don't have to deal. And
So
we have to deal right now on a high, high level. And it's just interesting. Yeah.
I'm in this exactly what you're saying, you know, because I've been fine and I honestly have lost track. I don't know, have we been quarantined a month, 2 months? I've literally lost track. All
Yeah.
I can tell you is, yeah, I don't even know, 3 months. I it's starting to wear on me like big time, and I've been fine. And I have to keep, golly, I have to keep reminding myself of so much. For instance, this is what's come up for me recently when I get really impatient with the pace that feels like a turtle right now. I have to say to myself, really? Have you mastered why you need to be still? Have you
Mm.
mastered being with source energy? Because I kind of feel like that's what's in this for you, really. Have you gone through your grieving process right now? Because there's a lot of enormous loss and change for me with a lot of people and a lot of circumstances all at once. And the answer is no. I've not. Yes. Am I in it? Yes. Am I doing it? Yes. Am I there, like on the other side of the rainbow? No. And then even with the rain, which I've become so angry with and impatient with, like, really? So we're shut in and we can't even go outside for a freaking walk. We're not talking pitter patter. We're talking like woof, deluge. And I've been angry with that. And then it struck me this morning, oh, California's been in a drought. Like, this is amazing that we're receiving this level of rain. How is this even healing California right now? Like, all these awarenesses, patience, my girl, patience, all in time. I heard John Holland, the medium, the amazing world-renowned medium, speaking. And he was talking about how much we'll want this time back,
Mm.
right? That whatever we're going through right now, that in a month, 2 months, 6 months, 6 years down the road, when this is all just a reference point, how much we will long again for the time that was when everything stood still and we're able to choose and focus and heal and work on and change and alter and make everything, ourselves and the world, anew. And I was like, oh, that's so profound to reflect on, like to cherish this time when we're not busy and running around and doing a million things.
Yeah, you're so right. It's like this is a reset right now. And it's already been, I guess we're going into 4 weeks, or this is 4 weeks. If we're allowing ourselves to reset right now, and I think so many of us are in this panic of what's it going to be like, how much longer, like we're in that timeline, and that's what we really need to release from. Like for me, I feel like time's collapsing. Like it sounds like for you, like what days? I feel like I just saw you last week, but that was, I think, 4 weeks ago. And who knows when I'll see you again, but it's like, it's so interesting because that time is collapsing and we just need to be really spacious with it right now. And if we're not being spacious with it, like you said, we've got to look at why, and like for people who aren't in California, we're in California. It's very strange for it to rain all day long, all night long, and into the next day. Like usually if we get a rainy day, it rains for the afternoon and then we're good to go. And days on days of rain is unusual for us. I know we're spoiled, but it's like, it does take a toll on our lifestyle because we are outdoor people here. So, that is interesting because I too feel cooped up. Yesterday, not being able to walk out in the rain, I just chose not to go out in the rain. I could have, but I just didn't want to. So yeah, it's getting to all of us, I think. But it's also that that little pat to say, just be calm and sit down. You don't need to be out moving around. I mean, yes, Shelby needs her walks and things, but it's good for us to just note, like, okay, there's no reason. We just need to be right here. And it's easy to say, but what are we doing around our homes or not doing? Just honoring right where we are, whether you cleaned out your closet or whether you've not done one thing to change anything, it's okay, right? Because there's a lot of non-productivity happening right now too. And I think that's part of the point too. There's no reason to push anything if that's not what we're up to.
Yeah, my closet is so unbelievable. I'm so thrilled with it. I'm going through every day and wearing different clothes, like pulling specifically these pants, this shirt, because it works great. It goes back. It doesn't. I've got boxes. Obviously, they can't go to Goodwill now, but they're being filled or a resale shop. And I will say, my girl, she's going to be a big lump. I'm sorry. When she sleeps, she's just out of it. This one, sleep, sleep,
Aw.
sleep. But I want to say, this is Shelby the dog. And what she did in this time, very productively. So we made a TikTok account. So go to TikTok under my name, Debbie Dachinger, and Shelby is making videos every day. And they're her therapy videos where she expresses how she feels right now. And it's very powerful. And I just listen. That's all. She talks about her hair being in knots and how it's not okay, how angry she is at the rain. And anyway, you can see she's very sad and sleepy. But go to TikTok under Debbie Dachinger. You can see Shelby the dog speaking.
That's so sweet. I love Shelby.
And it gave me a good creative outlet. So I want to talk a little bit about what, because somebody asked me, right? We have people actually, just so y'all know, Amy's going to be doing some real time healing. So stick around for show up because you want some of that yummy. And we've had people who wrote in, and just in case you needed it, I've got my phone right here. Who People who said stuff, but I did send it to you in advance what they were wanting and needing. And somebody asked me, she was really excited about receiving this. And she's like, I think this is a typical question. Well, what does she do? And I'm like, I don't know how you answer that around a healing because everybody's so incredibly different. But I'm going to volley that to you, Miss Amy. And the best you can articulate energy shift into words or modality into words. I'd love you to explain-ish in English
Yeah.
what it is you do and be when you give us this gift.
Yeah. Well, who I be when I step into this gift is my total truth, authentic self. A long time ago, when I first walked into my entrepreneur journey, the Hopi poem, I heard Maria Shriver read it at the women's conference. It was, I don't know, even know what year it was. It was like 15 years ago. The very last line is, "We are the ones we've been waiting for." And I took that as, I am the one I've been waiting for. And so when I step into this work, it's that, like, oh, there she is, the one I've been waiting for. So I don't know how else to articulate how I be in this, but it's like I've just aligned completely with my soul purpose. And I've been seeking that my whole life, seeking it, and I can feel it in my bones. So that's how I be in the work. And how the work that I actually do and how I go about it is this the soul awakening method, which is releasing inherited blocks from our DNA. So we come into this world with experiences and blocks that we've taken from our ancestors, and it happens many generations ago or just one generation ago. Their experience, like epigenetics is the experience of our ancestors, right? So we bring in those experiences to us and we are not even aware of it. Like, are we running patterns of never having a successful relationship? Are we running patterns of making enough money but never having that windfall? Are we like, what patterns are we running? So when you start doing this work and going into the releasing of it, you start recognizing, oh, that's not mine. I knew I felt like I'm bumping my head against the wall. I knew that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when you try, and you're like, why doesn't this change for me? Because I'm doing everything. I'm doing all the healings. I'm doing all the, you know, the meditations, the affirmations. I'm doing all the things, but nothing ever changes. This is the first time for me that something's really shifted for me when I experience this work, you know? And so it's layers, right? We all have different layers of what we can need and get at certain times in our life. And it's all perfect. Whatever we're doing, whatever the modality is, for me, this is what I've learned. And so this is what's put me into my gift and talent. And I love all healing work, by the way. So I think it's all beautiful and amazing. But what we experience in this work is like the frustrations that we might all be feeling right now. Say we're having a sense of terror that's going on for us right now in this moment, in this pandemic. We're isolated at home and there's like a anxiety and terror that maybe you've never felt before. It could be something that's been activated because an ancestor went through something similar, right? And it's all of a sudden like activated for us. And so we're like, wow, my level of anxiety is up. That's something that can be cleared because through this work. So it's interesting. It could be something that's like subtle thread through your life, or it could be something that just appears when a certain situation happens. So yeah, this work, I mean, I have a hard time describing it too, but when you experience it, you can feel the release of the blocks. And when that energy releases, it sets you free from having to have and replay and repeat that experience. And usually it happens because, when you've fallen down off of a step and then you turn around to your friend and you say, hey, watch your step, be careful, or don't walk this way. It's almost like that's what happens with our ancestors, and emotion gets trapped and they feel shame around something. And it's like, you know what, people, I don't want you to ever experience this. So you're not going to have that. I'm going to make sure that you feel this so you don't have to go through that experience of falling on your face and speaking up or going out in the world and singing and being criticized to totally being debilitated by it. So that emotion traps, and then like the future happens and we sort of spin. That's kind of the best way I can describe that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's interesting. So when you say that, I picture like an old-fashioned LP, right? Long, is that what I think it stands for long play? Anyway, a record, and it has grooves, and that's how it plays, right? And every time you put the needle down, it's going to play the same exact thing. That's never going to change. You're saying with the epigenetics, with the patterns that have been passed down, whatever they may be, that it's like here we are plunked in the middle, and we may be this very neutral being, but stuff is running through us and creating an experience over and over again, even though we wouldn't choose it mindfully.
Yeah.
So if you, in your work, stop that groove, right? You neutralize that groove, then how is it altered so that we have a really great experience instead, or create a groove that we really love to be in?
Yeah. Well, it opens you up to be your full authentic self. Like it opens you up to be who you really are, because you might be living someone else's pattern. Maybe you're here to be, for me, recently I had a session where, the fear of hiding released for me, of being a healer. And I come from a Native American ancestry. So I imagine there's some healing in there, right? Like those are some of my people. And that was like released. And I have had this fear and hiding and, being quiet about things in my work and like how I've shown up. So when that can release from me, then it allows me to be fully self-expressed without the hesitation. And that goes away, right? And again, it doesn't happen overnight. It's layers. We are, these emotional beings, and there's so many layers to us. There's not one way something might be trapped. And we have experiences that happen to us where it's like, oh yeah, that wasn't safe for me when I expressed myself on the dining room wall and colored my heart out, and then everyone got mad at me because I was being an artist, and then that's not safe, so I won't do that again. And then that's however we translate it into our life. When we release that experience of the experience, it sets us free to be who we really are.
Mm. It's interesting because this morning, I spoke to a friend of mine. We did a Zoom. She's in Canada, I'm here. And I was sharing with her something about a family situation. And she said, Deb, you're so hard on yourself. Like, this is shame that you're talking about. And even though something happened, it's really hard for you to let go of these things on yourself, right? How tough you are on yourself, this shame spiral, this being really, unrelenting, almost unforgiving. And, it really is true. And I used to just think, oh, well, I think that's because I just have to be honest all the time. If I even veer like that much off, there's no capacity, right? It just doesn't work inside of me. And while that may be true on some level, it's the first time I heard that feedback. And so now I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, oh, maybe even that's not mine. Maybe that is some kind of familial situation generations back where all this shame got passed down and all this, I don't know what, this being very hard on oneself, feeling guilty, all of that kind of stuff. It's hard. It's like a mantle that feels very hard to slough off. Here I sit back and go, wow, that makes sense what she said. That's powerful. But to literally extricate myself, not sure how to stop that pattern.
Yeah. And that's part of it, right? Like I've done everything. I've tried everything
Mm.
to move through this. And it's just, can't get this off. I can't get that out of that groove or that pattern. And this could be one of the reasons. I mean, I didn't know this was a thing until I knew it was a thing. Right? I didn't know that we were carrying around our ancestors' stuff. It makes all the sense in the world to me now, but I didn't know until I knew, right? So, I mean, I think we find this work. The other thing about this work is it goes really deep, really fast. So it's not, we're not playing here, you know? And I think that's how I feel ready for it, because I've been dabbling and I've been doing a lot of things, but now it's like, let's drop in. And the time is now. It is now. We are in this particular time. Things are upheavaled. We are in a lot of crazy unknown, and it is time for us to be our real selves. It is time for us to speak our truths. It is time for us, especially as visionaries and light workers and all the people doing all the amazing things. I mean, the shift on the planet is going to happen because people step into their authentic truth, whatever that is. It is whatever that is, but things have are changing, and there's like no more time for us. We are waking up. We are faced with our stuff. If you can't sit home with your kids and figure it out, or sit home alone and really be with yourself, I mean, this is the moment to do this. This is the moment of reconciliation and to like reset, realign, reconnect, go deeper. This is the time to face in. And if we can't do this now, when are we going to do it? We're not going to go back to that same busy, busy, busy. I have a feeling it won't look like that, you know, but it's going to be a new version of something. But we have to step into that, a new version of ourselves. Otherwise, what is this all for? And I feel the same way. Like I'm also pushing myself to go a little deeper, follow the intuitions. And sometimes it's not do the work. It's like be in work. It's like, go take the nap, go outside and take a 2-hour walk instead of a 1-hour walk as I walk around my neighborhood and stay safe and all that. But, you know, it's like, maybe it's that. So it's really tuning in and listening deeper to ourselves at this time. And if there's too much noise and static, just be aware of that. Be aware of what it is that's distracting you, and maybe see the patterns in that, you know. And there's a lot of reasons we don't want to face into our stuff, you know. I've recently had a lot of grief in my life because I lost my mom a year. It's almost been a year and a half, and it was devastating. It's still devastating to me. And it's easy not to want to feel the depth of that pain, you know. And so I feel people, I feel you if you've got something big, but it serves you to go there. It really serves you to go there.
Will you talk a little bit about what I'm just fielding, by the way, because people are writing and they're with us. They are with
Oh,
us
yay.
live. So thank you everybody for being with us live. So Amy, will you talk about, I suppose, let's go over maybe a little bit what people were asking for help with. And I think you have the list, but if you need any help, I've got also here. You probably have a better list than I do.
Yeah, I have what you sent over. So there's a lot of, you know, the loss and the grief and the disappointment. I imagine from right now in life, and maybe how all of this is showing up for us, feeling this left outness and left behind. Maybe if people are moving forward or moving on from our lives, this anxiety, definitely anxiety is up, and the panic energy is up for sure. And then trusting what's going to happen next, trusting we're going to be okay. Like, can we be trusting in this moment? And the anxiousness around money, of course, right? Like a lot of people, everything has come to a halt. So this anxiousness around money, and trusting like all of these debts, all of our bills are going to be paid, trusting the money flow and that. Also, you know, not feeling inspired at this time. You know, you can easily feel uninspired, especially when it's raining or the weather's bad and you just don't feel like it, right? Like, I don't feel like it. I don't have anything pushing me, especially if you're not working and you're off of your job, if you're used to going out and being of service in the world, like somewhere. And then that like lack of inspiration, and just like, you know, probably how many days can we curl up in a row in our beds with Netflix? I mean, a lot, because now we're armed with a lot of material, but then is that getting into depression as well? So that depression energy is up as well. Yeah. And I think in this moment, clearing for visionaries stepping into our truth and having these conversations and putting our work in the world. I think it's so important. There's such a value in our work right here, right now, to get paid for it, to do what we do, to uplift the planet, whatever it looks like for you. So if you're launching something, or you were planning on launching something, or you have an idea that's coming in now, and it's like, we need to move on them, because it's time. Now's the time. So clearing that hesitation and doubt, even I have that, like, is this now the time to tell people that I'm no longer doing business strategy and I'm doing healing? And oh, that's strange. What do I do right now? We have that hesitation. I have it too. So, and I know in my bones, this is the time for all of us to rise and keep sharing and keep offering, and not all for free. No, I'm not saying give everything away. That's not true. I mean, I see a lot of people discounting things or doing things, but they're sharing and they're offering and they're creating and they're selling. So I think we can be really conscious of how we're sharing and stepping up with our gifts, because it's needed. So I don't think we all need to sit down and become numb and be like, well, I'll wait till this is over. It's only going to happen because we're moving forward, sharing our things and sharing our gifts. And we are all here to be taken care of. If right now in this bigger picture, maybe Mother Earth is resetting right now energetically, and like the rain and everything that's happening on the planet. There's a lot of resetting happening, and we still have divine access to this unlimited supply that is here for us, including money, including flow, including everything to be taken care of. And we just need to remember that right now. And so if you're getting inspiration to be in work of your work and it's something new, go for it. And so clearing that doubt around that, I think that's coming up for people too, that value of what we offer and that financial value of it too. And there's an exchange. There's always an exchange. In order for people to value the work that we do, there must be an exchange. Whether we swap services or we swap money, nobody's going to the grocery store right now and getting free groceries because there's a pandemic. Just saying. They're not giving it away. So why do we expect to give ourselves away in this time too? So I think that's what I see. Is there anything else that you're seeing that people are looking for?
Yeah, let me see if I can look back over this. And folks, if you would go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let's see. This is so interesting. Lots of posts here. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, Debbi Dachinger, youtube.com/Debbi Dachinger. And beautiful. Let me see the list I have. Super excited. And let's see. Yeah, somebody wrote in fully seen in demand for our gifts, talents, and paid services. I think you addressed that. You probably addressed most of this. I know broken heart and lots of change. I think I'm going to harken back to what you said originally about losing your mom. I've been through a relationship breakup, pre-lockdown. And two of my best friends moving. Oh my God, it's a lot. One out of state, one out of country. Thank you very much. And it's frankly devastating. It takes years to nurture relationships at that level and know families and boyfriends and be in each other's homes and social events. And it's like really a lot for me. People writing in, I feel hopeless about knowing what's going to come next. I want to believe that after this, there's a reason things are going to get better. I'll be better, but I have no sense. Yes, income, just taking that a little deeper, where people are saying, I know government help is potentially on the way, but it's not here now. And bills are going dot, 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 dot. And I don't know what to, I don't know, like it's a lot of pressure. People feeling shut in. Like, I guess they're getting cabin fever, right? It was cool the first week, second week, and now it's like, really? Tiger King again? I tried to watch that. I watched 2 episodes. I could not freaking do that, man.
I just am not aligned with that. I go right past it. I have not had an interest in that at all, but I know everyone's talking about it.
I know, I get it, polygamy, but anything that has to do with hurting animals, I just couldn't. It was just, it all became, and these people they're crazy. Sorry, but
So I don't know if this is me here or if where Debbie went. I just think she froze. So I feel like I'm out in a hot air balloon by myself. So yeah, so I can't wait to do some healing with you all and wait for Debbie to come back and be in this energy with you all. And curious, what what are you experiencing right now? What are oh, Debbie's saying her power went out. And it's coming back up, so she needs a minute. So she's rerouting herself. So I'm just gonna be on the fly here with y'all. So what is it that you are all experiencing? And I'm asking you, but I'm not able to see the comments. So at this time, I'm just gonna say what, you know, what we're all experiencing right now is a really unique time. And so for us, we should really just connect with ourselves and be the best that we can be in every moment of time right now, because some days are easier than others and some days are harder than others. And I think we have to allow ourselves to go with the flow and honor everything that's going on for ourselves right now, because every day brings something different, right? I mean, whether I wasn't expecting to be so triggered by a rainy day yesterday either, right? And I know Debbie and I talked about that yesterday, but really honor where you are. I think if we can find the compassion for ourselves right here, right now, everything is possible at this time. So we have to choose to be really easy with ourselves and really grounded with ourselves and really connected, whatever that looks like for you. It looks different for everybody, and whatever that looks like for you. So yeah, be really connected and grounded with yourself and find your path, your way. That's what I'd like to say. Find the path that's leading you. I mean, everybody watching, maybe having this pull as a visionary person, as a visionary leader, we might be getting a lot of ideas right now and maybe they're not all to be birthed right now. I know I'm getting a ton of ideas of things to do, but they are absolutely things I cannot put out in the world right now because I just don't have the bandwidth or capacity. And I think we just need to allow those ideas and inspirations to flow and come. And whether you just capture them on a long list, let those ideas come. That can be something you can come back to, and also allow yourself to just maybe take a lot of action on one of those ideas. If something gets you and grounds you and you're like, oh, I'm going to do that, and it might be something that can serve and help people, it'll serve and help you as well at this time. So I'm just going to check in with Debbie real quick to see where we're at right here, so we can be all connected and get into this healing as well. I'm telling her that I'm just winging it. So it must be something good that's going on. Her power is going down at this time. That's interesting. The other thing I would say about getting into your purpose and life purpose, like for me, it's taken me it's been a long journey to get here, to get in this space of feeling really grounded with the work. I've always felt really good about the decisions I've made and the choices I've made, but I always I felt like I've moved towards this, like step by step by step by step. So I would encourage you at this time to, if there's anything that's been calling you, whether it's painting, whether it's writing, whether it's something creative or something, a different business idea, this would be the time to explore that. Through these, it's been really 15 years. 15 years ago, I quit my corporate job and moved. I lived in San Francisco, the Bay Area, and I moved back to Orange County. And I decided, you know what, I'm done with this corporate. It's not serving me. I was dying in the corporate world. I really was. And they weren't seeing me. I wasn't like moving forward. I was the one doing all the work, but not moving up. So I was like, enough of this. I've had it. So it's taken that 15 years of self-discovery, of choosing me first and following the hits. And it's not been a straight line. And sometimes I went over here and I wish I would have done something a little different because it might have gotten me where I am right now faster, but everything in divine perfect timing. So, I think I think it's just following yourself right now. And if this is a real time, I think we're in this space and time where we can accelerate that for ourselves, because there's nothing else to do but to be with ourselves. I mean, there's lots of things to do, right? Some of us are helping the kids. Some of us are, keeping our businesses going, and maybe both at the same time. But there's also this space and time in between that's really precious. So if you can give yourself that accelerated space to go deeper and get to your truth right here, right now, it is your job. Someone said that to me recently, that it's our job. They said it specifically, like, it's our job as light workers. It's our job as energy visionaries to bring this light to the planet right now. And when they said that to me, I was like, oh, when you put it that way, I feel like I can't quit. I can't hide. I can't say no to the project or no to the offering. It's like, no, I got to step into this right here, right now. And if you would have asked me, I would have said, this is not when I want to do this. This is not when I want to step in fully present, so fully in this work. So I would say, if you're having a little inkling of a calling, take a step. If you have a big inkling of a calling, you just get in it in your face, take that big step. And if you need support with that, find the people who are doing it, find the people who can nurture you and support you through it, because this is the time to answer the call. It really is. And it sounds cliche. I know, coming out of my mouth, it even sounds like a cliche, but I think this is the time. This is the time for us to answer the call and to be who we really are. I wish I had the Hopi poem in front of me to read to you, because it's like, at such a time as this, and seems like the time they are speaking about in that poem, but we are the ones we've been waiting for. And we've got to step in and step up and be our truth in everything. Debbie is telling me to keep talking to you, and she's reinitiating. She doesn't have the internet, so looks like they're working on it. Thank goodness technology works so fast these days. Her phone is up, and now she's trying to get on her computer. So something went down with her building. So yeah, so I don't know, maybe I think maybe should this be the time that we initiate healing to keep this moving? I think I might move into that. I think I might tell her. And roll with it, right? Like, why not roll with it? Be flexible. I mean, like, no one expects to be solo on someone else's show. And okay, so okay, so she's just wondering if she should be on the phone. Yeah, we're just rolling with it. Thanks, Lisa. Okay, so let's see. We're just gonna get, how do I do it? We are just being tricky and technical. I'm not sure how to, I don't think she has the Zoom. Okay, so, okay, I'm gonna call Debbie. Here we go. Thanks for your patience. If you guys are still there with us, I love you for being here and watching this. This is kind of my worst nightmare, to be left hanging somewhere and doing the dance, but it's all good. Okay, let's see. Hi. Yeah, should I put you on speaker? I'm just riffing on the YouTube. Okay, I'm gonna put Debbie on speaker now. Okay, you're on speaker.
Thank you, love. Gosh, guys, this is a thing. I don't know that we had an outage either on the entire block or city, or certainly my building, but something significant happened. I don't know if you saw the lights go out, but I will tell you that even though everything's come back on now, it keeps saying it cannot connect to a DNS server. I'm not sure what that means. I've tried everything on my end, but something is not initiated yet. So thanks for hanging. The good news is you have the star of the show, Amy, and she can take all of us through an experience, and I will absolutely be with you here in spirit, in voice, and I will be receiving too. So thank God you're so good at this, Amy.
Oh my gosh.
Podcast host, as a presenter, as a healer, that you can do this. Thank you for fielding all of this.
Oh, great. You're welcome. I felt like I was in a hot air balloon all by myself.
Pretty much flying solo.
Flying solo. Okay, so then we're gonna get into the healing, if that's okay with everybody. And I'm sorry I can't field any more of your requests, but I will tune in to see what comes up for everybody. And so I will just get into this. So I am going to turn my video off just because to honor the work, it's not about what I'm doing or how I'm being. It's really about you not being distracted and you being present with yourselves, eyes closed, going deep with this work. So I am going to turn my video off and go into the work with all of you. So I'm so grateful you're here. Debbie, thank you so much for having this coming out party at this level and then putting me on the spot solo. Way to put me in the spotlight.
And how divine that we're talking about the importance of rolling with what is right now, right? Going within and knowing your potency. And boy, if the world could have given us a more deep example, this is it right now. So
I know.
I think you got this.
Okay. Thank you, friends, so much. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go into this, and I am so grateful for everybody. And then, yeah, thank you for being here with me right now. So here we go. Okay, so I'm everyone just get in a comfortable position. And you're either sitting with your feet on the ground or lying down or just in a comfortable space. And so I want everybody to take a deep breath in and release. And then take another deep breath in and release. And take one last deep breath in. And on the exhale, imagine energetically dropping down into your heart space, landing into a beautiful, beautiful lotus flower where you will rest comfortably and safely as I connect and release what no longer serves you. Okay, here we go. Accessing 100% spirit, accessing 100% soul. If you are in agreement with me, attaching and releasing from you, say yes out loud. Okay, good. With the love and intention of the universe on all levels and dimensions, releasing this disappointment, releasing this loss and grief that we are feeling at this time as a collective and as individuals on an individual level, releasing this crazy kinetic energy that we might be feeling that might not be ours at all, releasing this kinetic energy, releasing this how it's showing up in whatever format, if it's showing up in relationships, if it's showing up in your business, if it's showing up in your family dynamics with everybody in the house, maybe releasing this out of control kinetic energy that's going on with you, releasing this isolation and this despair that's coming forth in this isolation, releasing this despair, this sense of despair that feels so deep that you don't even know where it came from. It feels so deep that it's like, whoa, it's like this well of depth of despair, releasing all that is, because that is not ours. That is ancestral. We are releasing this from our lineage. We are releasing this from the past. We are releasing this from our bodies right here, right now. We are releasing this feeling of feeling left behind. As some people are moving on, some people are moving out of relationships, moving on as in like moving, and people are feeling left out. Releasing this feeling of feeling left out. Releasing this grief of loss, this depth of grief that's happening. It can be happening at such a personal level, and it could be also happening at the planetary level, the community level, the global level, the sense of grief that we have right here, right now, because we are in a space, we just lost our lives as we know it. We just lost everything that we thought we were comfortable with, as we are maybe stuck at home, maybe not able to leave the home, maybe just everything is different right here, right now. We are grieving all this change, all this loss of what we thought we knew our lives to be, releasing this grief as it pertains to a loss of relationships, if people have moved on for our lives, whatever that looks like, this grief that is happening in our hearts, this brokenhearted feeling that sometimes just goes into this sense of grief and loss, releasing this loss, Releasing this sense of aloneness that might be bringing up, releasing this aloneness from every cell, organ, tissue, gland, chakra, light body, and meridian. Releasing this anxiety around aloneness, around being isolated, around being just separate, left behind, left alone, disconnected, releasing this sense of disconnection that we're feeling, this lack of hope that we're feeling, releasing this doubt that might be coming up, releasing this from every cell, organ, tissue, gland, light body, and meridian, releasing how this is showing up in your bodies, releasing this self-doubt, releasing this lack of hope that's creating maybe some depression here. So releasing that depression, releasing this depression as it's feeling like never ending, you know, like we're under the beds and our heads are covered and it feels like there's no way out. Releasing the sense of no way out. There's no coming away from this. There's no way that we're surviving this. If there's like an irrational feeling of the doubt of this is never going to change and it's only going to get worse, releasing all that is, releasing that feeling of it's only going to get worse and we don't know what's going on or where it's going to go from here, releasing that from every cell, organ, tissue, gland, light body, and meridian, releasing this. And take a deep breath, keep breathing, keep connecting with yourself, just feel how you're feeling. Releasing this anxiousness specifically around money, around how money's coming in, what to do with your current money, whether you need to hold on to your money really tight right now, releasing all the anxiousness that's being brought up by this situation, this pandemic, this lack of work, or not understanding where money's going to come from. And if the government's going to come through, this anxiety and lack of trust with the government coming through for us. And releasing all that is, releasing this trust, untrusting of the government, untrusting that we're going to be taken care of and supported, releasing all that is, releasing this need to know, releasing this maybe this resistance to being in a surrender moment, releasing this resistance to surrendering, to being supported. You know, like we are in this unknown, so let's release this resistance to just being in the surrender of all that this is, because nobody knows right now. I don't even think people who think they know, they don't know. So we are all in this together, releasing this sense of separateness, releasing this resistance to being in this together, releasing that you're maybe like feeling like you're on an island and all alone, because even if you're alone and not talking to anybody or not connecting the way you maybe think you feel you should, that we are connecting with you. We've got you. We're here for you. Releasing this grief and disconnection from every cell, organ, tissue, gland, chakra, light body, and meridian. Releasing this feeling of feeling, you know, incomplete right now, because a lot of us maybe get our connections from seeing people, from being in people. There's a lot of extroverts in the world that this does not serve at all. So releasing that resistance to just being home with yourself. You know, be an extrovert with yourself, have some good conversations with yourself. So releasing all of that story around being extroverted and feeling like that sense of needing that approval, needing that being out in the world, needing, releasing all this need, because we are all divine, right, and perfect right where we are. Releasing this needy energy from every cell, organ, tissue, gland, chakra, light body, and meridian. Let's clear this belief that we can't be in an offering right now, that we can't be in sales right now, that we can't be, you know, sharing our gifts and talents, sharing and marketing, whatever that looks like in the sense of business, all that business language. Let's release that we feel like we don't believe we can step into this right now and it's not the time. Let's release all that is, releasing that doubt around being in sales and marketing right now in the most divine, authentic way, releasing that because it doesn't serve you. This is the time for everyone to come forward and serve and share your gifts and talents and being in the world, of the world, divinely as you, right here, right now. So releasing this doubt from every cell, organ, tissue, gland, chakra, light body, and meridian. Releasing all that doubt is, all that doubt around anything business, around anything new in business, new ideas, new offerings, and anything that might be just repurposed right now. Releasing all that is, releasing the doubt and financial connection with sharing your business. If you're questioning whether you should share everything for free or heavily discount everything, let's just release that interest and that idea that you have to be heavily discounted right now, because that is not the truth. You are highly valued for who you are, what you offer, and what you're creating. So releasing that thought and doubt that you can receive good money right now at this time, at such a time as this, releasing that from every cell, organ, tissue, gland, chakra, light, body, and meridian. Clearing this, this terrible timing, clearing all the conversations you may be having in your head, all those bad ideas, those negative thoughts, those negative ideas that this is a terrible time, this is the worst time ever. It is not. This could be the best time ever. What if you're the one that said, I built my business then, you know, at that time? We hear that a lot. So releasing all of those, that depth of that feeling that this is bad timing, that this is a bad idea, that anything negative that has to be said, let's release all that is from every cell, organ, tissue, gland, chakra, light, body, and meridian. Releasing this from your tissues. Let's just let that go, set that free. Take a deep breath. Keep breathing with me. Keep breathing in your body. If you're feeling this, great. If you're not feeling this, that's okay. Whatever's going on for you right now, right here and now, it's perfect. It is perfect. Let's clear the hiding for all of those awesome, amazing visionaries that have maybe been hiding and hesitating. Let's clear all that hiding and hesitation energy that's up. Let's clear that this is another reason not to put yourself out in the world. It's like, oh, okay, good. I'll wait until this is over. Nope, now's your time. So let's clear that hiding and hesitation, that hesitation energy from every cell, organ, tissue, gland, chakra, light, body, and meridian. That hesitation, that procrastination, any excuse that you have, let's clear all those excuses because they no longer serve you. They are not yours, and they don't need to be here, right now. Releasing all of that energy around procrastination and those excuses. That's releasing that energy of maybe not wanting to be seen. That goes with the hiding, not wanting to be seen. That feeling that energy around doubting yourself and your gifts and talents at this time. Yeah, let's release that. Releasing that there's value. There's not value here. Releasing that there's not value. I'm repeating myself on some of these, but I think we need to circle back because we just really want this to release and go. And I feel things leaving from all of you. And this is amazing and beautiful. And you're all doing so great. So releasing this fear of being paid, this fear of having money right now, and having circulation and flow and being grounded at this time, releasing this maybe idea that it's not okay to be good right now in this moment, to be good and to be funded and to be happy and to be really grounded and knowing and connected and confident, releasing that lack of confidence and releasing that fear of maybe having confidence right now and sounding really good. You don't need to be in agreement with all the negative out there. We don't need to buy into all of that. We feel triggered, like releasing all those triggers, releasing the trigger of the news, the trigger of the information, the trigger of the fear, the panic, the anxiety, the collective panic. Let's release all this collective panic, releasing this from your every cell, tissue, gland, chakra, light, body, and meridian, releasing this from your ancestors for all those who maybe have been activated because maybe your family had some lived through the pandemic before, lived through whatever age, at whatever time, they had some struggles and it was at a collective level and out of their control. Releasing your need for control at this time. We clearly know we have no control over the outside world. So let's just know that we can be in connection with ourselves at this time, releasing that need for control, releasing that distortion energy around control and how control might be distracting you. So releasing all that distraction energy, releasing the distraction energy and the way you should on yourself. You should be doing this, you should be doing that, you should be cleaning out every cabinet in your home, in your garage, and all the things. No, that's okay if you don't. No shooting on yourself, releasing all of those expectations, taking in all the expectations of what everyone else is doing and telling you to do, releasing all that comparison energy that might be coming up right now, releasing all that is from every cell, organ, tissue, gland, chakra, light, body, and meridian. Releasing all that distraction energy and distortion energy that's showing up here so we can have this clarity now. Releasing all this heartbreak around, maybe it's the heartbreak around just what's happening. It's devastating, the loss, the grief, just for this moment, just for this time, the heartbreak that is ensued with us, that just might be seeping in, the heartbreak of losing the world as we know it right now, right here. It's not a bad thing, but there is heartbreak because there's a control and a connection in knowing what to expect in the world. So releasing all that is, releasing that heartbreak from every cell, organ, tissue, gland, and chakra, light, body, and meridian. Releasing that hopelessness that heartbreak might bring up for you. Releasing all that hopelessness. Releasing this pressure this internal pressure we put on ourselves to be something that we're not right here, right now, whether it's related to work or, you know, homeschooling your kids, or something different in your business if you're an entrepreneur, or how you show up, or if you were, you know, laid off at this time and put on hold with your work. Releasing the pressure to be anything other than what you are being right here, right now. Releasing that pressure, energy from every cell, organ, tissue, gland, chakra, light body, and meridian. Okay, so let's replace these things. Let's replace this. Let's replace this with this energetic energy of abundance and prosperity. We're replacing it with, oh, this just divine, beautiful golden white light energy to just pour through everybody's body, to just have this feeling of reset, reconnection, a clearing, a recalibrating of your cells. It's just like a healing recalibration that's happening. Let this divine light just pour all over your bodies, and, you know, down through your crown chakra, down through your whole body, and just release through your aura, and just let it be expansive. So we're replacing this with expansive energy. Unconditional love is pouring through right now. Unconditional confidence, love, support is pouring through and replacing all that we just released. Replacing all of these things with this calm energy, with this connective energy, with this divine right and perfect connection that you have with yourself. That's all you need right here, right now. Connecting this beautiful energy, replacing in your energy this authentic, beautiful energy that is here for you always. Replacing this with this full, free, expansive freedom that you're feeling right now in this time and space. Replacing this with an empowerment that you haven't felt for a while, maybe. This honoring energy, this security and safety. Replacing this with safety. Feeling safe right here, right now, no matter the circumstances or the situation. Feeling a freedom in this safety. Replacing this with a faith, a divine faith, and a trust, and a knowing, and a total confidence, exactly right here, right now, exactly who you are, where you are. Replacing this with courage. Courage energy is flowing through all of your cells right here, right now. And a clarity and a focus, a divine focus and a divine clarity right here, right now, with abundance and prosperity overflowing into your life, with a peace and a calmness that is just this amazing connection, going deeper with yourself, knowing you are this deep wellspring of unlimited vitality, unlimited expression, unlimited wellness and health and wellness spreading through your body right here, right now. A divine vibrancy of well-being. And abundance. Replacing this with unconditional love. One more time. Replacing this with unconditional love. Okay, now I would love to ask all of you to just take a really deep breath. Feel all that was going on there.
Yeah, beautiful.
And then I'm going to ask you to integrate this with me. So repeat after me. Now let's integrate this healing. So repeat after me. I completely integrate.
I completely integrate.
And fully receive.
And fully receive.
The energetic shifts that have occurred.
The energetic shifts that have occurred.
And then I'm going to take it from here to close it out, connecting your heart, mind, body, and spirit and soul. You are united, you are whole, and you are complete. Bringing your mind back to your breath. Take a gentle breath in and out. Inhale, exhale. And so it is. And when you're ready, you can come back and open your eyes.
Wow. Hi.
Hi, so good to see you.
It came back just as you started. I mean, how lucky am I? This is so great. Oh, wow, Amy, that was really profound. So I want to ask for everybody who just went through that, and folks, you can post below what you're feeling right now. I would love to hear what you're feeling, what this is like for you. For those of us who are feeling this enormous spaciousness right now, what would you recommend we do? I'm sure you're going to say agua.
Yeah.
Water.
Yeah, definitely hydrate, drink a lot of water, be really aware of how you might be feeling the next 24 hours. You might feel nothing right now. So if those of you feel nothing right now, that's okay. That's a perfectly fine thing to be feeling. I feel nothing too when I've gone through many, many, many healings in my life. And that's just, I don't want to say normal, but it's normal, right? It's okay to feel nothing. If you feel super expansive, if you feel super lit up, if you feel things releasing, whatever you're feeling is perfect for you. So just notice. And then as the next 24 hours, a couple of days go by, just notice, maybe notice your thoughts, be it what you're aware of, maybe just see what's coming up for you. For those of you who had a special request, see if those things are still charged and triggered for you, if there's still a charge around some of it. And yeah, drink a lot of water. If you can, take a healing bath or shower tonight, that's always really lovely to do when you've shifted your energy and released a lot. It's really soothing. So yeah, just take good care of yourself and be really kind and compassionate with whatever shows up. You also might feel really emotional. So if you find yourself crying, if you find yourself emoting, that's just healing happening. That's just your body releasing on another level. So just trust whatever it is for you.
That's beautiful. Amy and Lisa wrote, thank you. Beautiful, Amy. That was for me as well, by the way, like, wow. So I always like in a moment like this, words aren't very good. Being articulate is not going to happen a lot. But I will say that I literally felt leaving. I love that you are so sensitive to know when to repeat things. Because when you did that, I could sense, oh yeah, this is exiting me right now. It's still asking to be exited. So I was so appreciative the times you went back and went a little deeper with some of those. I'm curious, what is that like for you to be doing that? We can't see you, so we don't know what it even looks like to be you.
I know. It's actually just quite simple for me. I honestly, my eyes are closed and I'm just intuiting what's coming forth based on what you guys talked about, but then that opens it up to me tapping into what else might be going on. I feel tingly as I'm doing it. And I know when I land on something big and then I repeat it, it's because internally I'm feeling the bigness of it, so, and I can feel it releasing too. I can feel it releasing off of everybody. So whether you feel it or not, it doesn't mean nothing's happening. But for me, yeah, I get goosies throughout the whole thing.
If you want to post below, let me know. And if there's something that you feel was still there, and this is so wonderful, all of you. Thank you for supporting her and being so like part of this, I'm really grateful. Even through, I just think it's hilarious that everything's shut down. I don't even know if you saw the blackout, but the fact that the show went on, that you were even able to stay here on this platform makes me so happy, and that you all stayed with her. Thank you for that. So Alan, Elizabeth, Michelle, Lisa, etc., all you folks out there, just write in, like, how is this for you? I think they're all so freaking expanded. I don't know. What is that? Let us know. It's so funny. Amy, what kind of patterns are you seeing out in the world right now? What kind of, is there anything you're seeing like on a global level that you feel we should pay some attention to or do a little bit of clearing around that could influence us right now, but potentially even, the days ahead that are creating what's to come?
I mean, honestly, I think it's that anxiety level that takes us to another notch, especially if we're not really anxious people. The word that's coming to me right now is like this hysteria. Like, you could get hysterical if you're watching the news and like trying, and if you're really paying attention to every little thing that everybody's saying, it could create some hysteria for you. That's how I feel too about it. Like I could get really hysterical about everything that's going on and go down a real crazy rabbit hole with it all. But I think collectively it's that like panic and that fear and that unknown. And I think that unknown creates that feeds into the fear and the panic. And I think if we keep going back to the truth of who we are, who we know ourselves to be, that we're always taken care of. Even now we're taken care of. I mean, if you look around, the earth is being so taken care of right now. Nature, you know, like I've got things growing that are crazy. Like I'm so excited. My sweet peas are growing like crazy. I can't wait for them to bloom. But it reminds me, I look out the window and I'm like, oh, that reminds me all is right, because things are growing. So we're growing right here, right now. So I just want to remind you that we're growing, and when we're in it, it feels sometimes icky, and we're in the icky spot. But if we can find some grace in this, and maybe not take on everybody else's stuff. And I would really say, watch, if you're a news junkie, watch less news. If you're a social media junkie, be on that less. Like really notice where your attention's going, so you can bring your focus back here, and then just do what feels right for you. I find myself getting on social media, and then I get distracted and I get riled up, and I'm like, this isn't even mine. And when I turn it off and I'm not on it, I'm fine and I'm good and I'm in my energy. So I think I just want to remind people to be where you are. You could be feeling fear and panic, and that's okay too. But don't let yourself get more panicky and more riled up, because you're tapping into the collective of it as well. I know we all need to be informed. Yes. I know we all need to know what's going on. Yes. And you don't need to know more than you need to know, right? And let that rile you up. So just notice where you're putting your attention, because if you allow yourself to put your attention on yourself and your heart, it will calm you down. It really will.
Right. Such a good point. Such a good point for the collective. And then you add into that mix, if you jump out of today and you're trying to figure out what is tomorrow, what is next week, when will this be over, then you add to the mix uncertainty and instability. And then, you are going to be sucked into a black hole without a doubt. In the moment, I know we're doing well. So nice. Michelle wrote, feeling very relaxed. Cells in my body are buzzing. Old patterns released and new higher level energies infused. Lisa J, we have two different Lisas here. So Lisa J wrote, I was very much looking forward to this and so grateful for this clearing. Thank you, Amy. Love you, Debbie. Mwah, 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 Lisa. And other Lisa too, and Michelle and Ellen and so for those of us, I mean, I know I really received. I was just thinking, oh, I'm going to go into tonight in such a good space right now. Thank you. That I feel such a shift. We love this. We've got the YouTube video. Can we watch this again and receive this all over again? Will it just be a spark and as powerful if we re-listen, re-watch?
Yes. So if you rewatch and re-listen, it will take you to another deeper level. And if you maybe didn't feel something the first time, you might feel it the second time. The more you listen to it, the more you will release. And I would let yourself have like 24 hours before you listen to it, like not to re-listen to it over and over and over right away, because you want to let your body have the space to have the release and the healing itself, so it can recalibrate and reset. You don't want to overload your body, but absolutely, yes, you can re-listen to it and you can go a little deeper with it.
And when people have a session with you, so we just had a group experience, what is it like? Is it a full hour of that? Is it, what does it entail, so people know?
Yeah, so in a session, you will have an hour of the time, and it's more personal, right? So if you're wanting to talk about money, if you're wanting to talk about relationships, we sort of have a dialogue about what's up for you, what you're struggling with. And then we go a little bit deeper with the ancestral, and we test, is it, which side is it on? Where does it come from? Who do we need to release it from? So like, say the grief that came up, we would release it from, maybe it came from your mother's side, so we'll release it specifically from that. Or if it was maybe trapped in your lifetime. In a group setting, it's hard to do that because, it's hard to know from everybody. But when you're one-on-one, you get to have that experience of releasing it, at that deeper level. And this is like the first layer of the onion, to do it in a group and have this like releasing collectively. And then to go a little deeper, it goes deep into that deep dive. And then, and it's a really fun hour, actually, it's just spacious. It's just like this, it's very spacious.
Wow. And so people can actually do packages, I'm assuming if they get a package with you, I'm just thinking about myself, like what's possible, like, wow, think about the things you could tackle, like relationships, body, sex, money, career, family. I mean, a gazillion things that are going on, but you can clear, 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 clear,
Yeah,
piece after piece. And I even imagine that some may influence the other, some may bleed over so that you get effects in a couple of categories at once.
absolutely. Like, for instance, yesterday I was working with somebody and we were working on her health diagnosis, and it was connected to like her speaking out, and they were like two different issues we were working on, but as we moved through it, you could see the thread that was connected. And that's kind of fun too, because you come with one thing and then it might turn into something else. And so it's like, to me, it feels always divine. Same with me when I step into the work and have the work done for me. I'm thinking it's about money today, but it's about relationships, and that's where the conversation leads, and then that's where it goes. But also, it gets to go wherever you want it to go. What's your biggest struggle? And then that's where we start. And then we start unveiling it and revealing it, and that's kind of the mystery of it all, right? Because that's part of the unknown, like what comes up needs to be cleared will bubble up first for you, and it's probably what's exactly in your awareness, the one thing driving you crazy, the one thing you can't get over, the one thing you're just, I'm ready to get over this one thing, whether it's making more money or having this thing happen or whatever that is. Really not having the anxiety, being able to sleep at night. And I would like, we're all triggered right now. So yeah.
Where do people find you? Where do they connect with you to get this started, get the party started if they'd like to?
I think the best thing to do right now, I mean, I have a website at amyschuber.com. This all hasn't been integrated on it so much so it's not like you could sign up for healing sessions there. I think the best thing to do if you want more information and to connect with me is to email me, and we can set up a discovery session. We can have a conversation about, does it feel right to work together? Because I also don't want to work with someone who hesitates. And I know that I'm not for everyone either. And I want to be sure that we're cohesive in that as well. So if you want to shoot me an email, it's just amy@amyschuber.com, and we can connect in that way. I think that's the first place to connect. Yeah, it's easy as that.
Awesome. Well, folks, at a time when Amy was pointing out to us through that blessed release and integration and invitation for more, yummier, really like to live a life that, I don't know why the word dessert comes up. I don't even eat sugar, but that's what it feels like, a rich, fantastic dessert that life could be. It could be luxury, it could be wealth, it could be a complete abundance and prosperity. So whatever your gift is, she's saying it is time to put it out there. I will throw my hat in the ring and say, I have created a membership site for those who want to write a book. Go to debbidachinger.com/visible visionaries. Much like Amy's name, you want to pay attention to the spelling of my name too. Dachinger, Debbi, there's no E. So debbidachinger.com/visible visionaries. And I've got an anthology book about dogs. So if you would like to write a chapter, go to debbid.net/anthology. And then I offer lots more for folks who would like to take their book to a guaranteed international bestseller. Reach out on my website, debbi.com. We will have that conversation and get you an amazing experience, unlike anything you've ever done before. I love doing them so much for my authors. And if you loved this as much as I and all our beautiful guests here did, go to amyschuber.com and seek her out there. It's AMYSCHUBER. And if you could feel what was possible here in a group setting, just imagine if this was run specifically for you on what's up in your life for an hour or even a package of hours. That's all I'm thinking about right now is a package of hours. Like, wow, what could be cleared out? This was such a gift, Amy. I'm really grateful you showed up like this.
Thank you so much, Debbie. I thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me have a coming out party and leaving me by myself. But here we are. We're still here. So thank you. I really love and adore you and appreciate you and honor your time and space here and holding this space for everybody that gets to tune in and connect with you and what you bring to all of us. So thank you.
Yep, you helped me make my dream come true too, because this is the thing I've always wanted to do is shine the light on the healers. And oh my God, what a beautiful time to do this and how the world needs you. So folks, thank you so much for being with us today. Amy at amyschuber.com. You can write to her about her packages. DebbiDachinger.com. We adore you and we want you to be well and happy and thriving, because this next phase of life, right? If we were meant to be here, we're still breathing. If we're
Yeah.
meant to do this, we're still here right now. So get ready. It's going to get better and better, but we need you to be better, to be doing the work you came here to do, and to be being the being you came here to be. We love you. We adore you. And thanks for joining us today.